My name is Fibora George Womit. Today I will be sharing how I support Austin, a year 9 student diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, with a particular focus on instructional strategies and collaboration. The aim is to demonstrate how targeted adjustment and inclusive practices enable us to assess and participate in learning on the same basis as his peers with mainstream classroom, consistent with inclusive education principles. Austin is a 15-year-old Year 9 student at Hope International Secondary School who has been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. He often experiences challenges participating fully in classroom interactions, particularly in verbal communication contests. Austin has made positive progress in his social development, particularly through engaging in football and forming connections with peers. However, he continues to experience difficulties with verbal communication and often relies on gestures or communicates through other students rather than speaking in front of larger groups. Academically, Austin is currently working at approximately 1 year below the expected level. He also experiences sensory sensitivities, which can impact his ability to regulate his emotions and remain engaged in classroom learning. My approach to supporting is grounded in inclusive and flexible teaching practices that align with universal design for learning principles, which aim to provide equitable access for all learners. It involves creating structured and predictable learning environment, as consistency and quality are essential for effective classroom management and audience engagement. Operate multiple ways for Austin to engage with content, including visual supports and scaffolded instructions, and provide different options for Austin to demonstrate his understanding. Effective communication strategies such as simplifying instructions and using visual cues are also essential in supporting Austin with communication differences. The physical environment is carefully managed to minimize sensory distractions and ensure Austin has access to a quiet space when needed. These proactive adjustments support inclusion by enabling Austin to participate alongside his peers rather than being excluded from learning opportunities. In my digital technology classroom, Austin benefits from clear, structured, and visually supported instruction. Tasks are broken into small, manageable steps using checklists and visual guides such as screenshots to reduce cognitive load and support processing. Key vocabulary and concepts, including terms like algorithm and loop, are pre-taught using worked example to build familiarity, confidence, and reduce anxiety before independent tasks. Assistive and digital tools further support access, including the use of visual programming platforms, scaffolded templates, and opportunities to respond through typing rather than verbal communication. This aligns with inclusive use of technology. To support Austin's communication needs, I provide alternative ways for him to engage that do not rely solely on verbal responses, including gestures, peer-mediated communication. Consult Austin about what support his learning is offered, particularly in relation to his communication difficulties. The teacher assistant uses prompting and modeling strategies to guide Austin's engagement and responses. Behavior support is approached proactively through structured routines and clear expectations, which are key elements of effective classroom management. Austin has developed self-regulation strategies such as breathing techniques, which are reinforced in the classroom to promote independence. Social scripts are also used to prepare him for new or unfamiliar situations, helping to reduce anxiety and support participation. While Austin has demonstrated positive growth in social engagement, he continues to require structural support to access learning effectively. This table summarizes the range of adjustments provided for Austin across different nationally consistent collection of data on students with disability NCCD levels. While he primarily requires substantial adjustments, meaning he needs frequent targeted support to participate in learning, implement strategies across all levels to support inclusive practice at the level of quality differentiated teaching practice. Adjustments include the use of visual support, step-by-step instructions, structured drawings, and simplified language. At the supplementary level, additional supports such as pre-teach concepts, differentiating tasks, and monitoring and adjusting pacing are provided. At the substantial level, targeted strategies include collaboration with a teacher assistant, provision of sensory breaks, adapted communication and assessment, and access to quiet space are implemented. Where required, extensive adjustments, even more extensive and individualized support, such as social scripts and preparations for transition, are also used. Collaboration is essential in supporting Austin's learning and participation. I work closely with the teacher assistant to monitor its engagement and adjust strategy as needed, which reflects effective use of support staff in inclusive classroom. The student support team collaborates to develop and review Austin's personalized learning plan, ensuring coordinated approach to its education. Collaboration with families is also critical as strong partnership between home and school contribute to improve Austin's outcomes. Additionally, input from external professionals such as Austin's speech pathologists helps inform appropriate communication strategies. Working collaboratively with colleagues and other professionals is essential for creating inclusive learning environment and ensuring consistency of support. In summary, supporting Austin's requires a combination of structured classroom management, targeted instructional strategies, and effective collaboration. Inclusive practices and reasonable adjustments enable Austin to participate meaningfully alongside peers. Ultimately, creating flexible and supportive learning environments ensures that all Austins has equitable access to education, which is central to inclusive education. The end. Thank you.